let's colour this page on the iPad. So this page is from Coloured Caramel, and I bought it from Etsy and imported it to iPad, and I'm using Procreate. So what I'm doing at the minute is I'm just putting in the base colours. I've got the line work layer on reference, so it's easier to drag and drop the colours. I like doing this stage and then adding details with the actual pen brush. I'm trying to keep the colours nice and cohesive for this, so you'll notice when I actually colour pick that I'm generally using the same sort of side of the colour wheel. This makes sure that all your colours are sort of similar to each other. And I'm just using shades and tints and highlights of the same colour. Now I'm just putting some texture in on the wood area. Now what I have done is when I've coloured in the wood area, I've actually put it on alpha lock, and this means that I can actually colour without going outside of the brown bits that I painted in already. You can see here, like, it's quite useful for when you're doing stuff like this. It means that, you know, you don't have to be as neat as you would be, and you can just paint in without going outside the lines here. Right, time for the bread. So if you think about bread, like the bottom of the bread will be sort of a slightly lighter shade, and then the top of the bread's like a nice crusty brown sort of colour where the oven's like been hottest. So I'm just putting in darker shades and building it up here, and then I'll use the smudge tool just to kind of blend it in just a little bit. Now for the next piece of bread, and again it's just the same sort of technique here, so I'm just using a nice toasty warm brown colour just to fill in the tops of the bread here. And again using the smudge tool just to kind of blend just those edges just a little bit. I'll put a little bit of highlight on the top as well, just so it's like a bit of a shiny loaf, and then we'll add some like speckles. Maybe these are sort of like multi-grain type bread loaves, and we can have like some nice seeds and stuff going on. Now I've finished the rest of the blocking and put things like this where you've got a transparent area. I'm just basically filling in the background and areas that I've missed before. I'm just doing the bottom of these jars here, again just to make sure it's all transparent. Now I'm going to do stars. So start with doing some nice outlines of the twinkly stars. And then what I'll do is I will make a layer above the line work, and I will make a clipping mask. This makes sure that anything that I paint on now will stick to those lines. So I've done some like a bright pink kind of purpley colour, and I've just gone over the line work there where the little stars are. Filled in the lights as well. And then time for some glaze on the donuts. So I make these as nice and shiny as possible using a few colours and building up those highlights. And lastly, I'll just put an extra little bit of detail on. We'll just do some nice icing on the top here, and maybe some sprinkles on the red ones. Now I'll do some details on the characters. So I like to sort of vary kind of patterns and stuff on them just to keep them interesting. And it's sort of like a cat thing, so we'll kind of just use some general cat patterns. Next we'll put in a bit of a plaid on the tablecloth here. Just using the brush on a slightly less opaque here just to do these lines. Now what I've done is I've put a layer and set it to multiply, and then used a sort of dark purple colour, and I'm just blocking in all of the shadows now. I'm just painting that in where the light wouldn't be hitting very strongly. I think this is one of the stages that I like the best, because colouring really starts to come together at this point, and everything sort of pops out of the page a bit. Next I'll do the opposite, and I'll do some lights. So we'll make a layer, and then we'll set the layer mode on this one to add. And then I've just picked the sort of pinkish colour from the lights, just so all the lighting's got a tiny bit of a pink tinge to it. And now I'm just painting on where the light would be hitting the strongest. So on the anything that's like a sphere, I've just got like a blob light hitting the side of things. Just on the edge of the bread here. edge of the bag. So this is all final touches really. It's not necessarily needed, but I just like this bit best. I like it, just brings everything together and makes everything stand out a lot more. Yeah, final details, final touches. And then time for some very light white highlights just on the very shiniest bits. And these little creatures, I've decided these are going to be kind of shiny. So the lights as well, just make sure that they're nice and bright. And there we have it. It's pretty much finished. Just putting some final details on the eyes here, because I like when the characters' eyes have got like a shininess to them. Nice and kawaii and stuff. Speaking of which, the book is called Kawaii Dreams by Coloured Caramel. I think I've mentioned that before, but it's available in Coloured Caramel shop from Etsy. Thanks guys, happy colouring!